Welcome to Field to Fork Cooking with Abby J. Today's program is brought to you in part by Ingles Supermarkets and the Ingles Table. Now here's chef and host of the show, Abby J, to introduce her special guest for today's show.
Welcome to Field to Fork. I'm Abby J, and today Bruce Hartness is my entrepreneur on the show. Welcome to the show, Bruce.
Hey, Abby, glad to be here. Thank you.
So Bruce has, he's an attorney in town, but he's got a lot of other things that he has a passion for, just like I do. And I wanted him to share his passion with you and try to educate the audience a little bit about making honey.
Yes, thank you. Well, when I was 14 and living in Tallulah Falls, I was bored and needed something to do. So there was a local preacher up there by the name of Charles Webb. Well, everybody probably knows his brother in Clarksville, Carl Webb, that is really famous in Clarksville for honey. But his brother used to really be big and was also a preacher, and he needed somebody to help him. So when I was about 14, so that's been 43 years ago.
A little time has passed.
Yeah. So he had come by and pick me up in Tallulah Falls, and he had beehives all over Rabun County because he wanted to capture the famous sourwood honey of North Georgia. And sourwood honey is only found here in North Georgia, Northeast Georgia. It's found from about Gainesville up to, we'll give Franklin, North Carolina a little credit, up to there, and then over about to Blairsville. But only in this area is sourwood honey found in the world. And believe it or not, it's been voted the world's best honey 3 different times.
Well, I can validate that because my father was a beekeeper, and he worked with Carl Webb, and it's like a passion. It's a lot of work, though, right, Bruce?
Oh my gosh, yes, it's a lot of work, but it is a passion. You know, I think everybody needs to have a hobby, and this is my only hobby. I work, I love my family, and I love my job. I love my clients, but the few minutes that I have, I work with my bees. And the odd thing about bees is when you're working with those bees, that's the only thing on your mind. You're not worried about your light bill or you know, you're not worried about your gas tank. All you're worried about at that moment are those bees.
I can totally agree because when canning season comes, I'm only worried about my tomatoes.
Yes, I know.
I mean, that is a big thing for me because I garden and I really like to make my own food. And, I'm part of Georgia Grown. That's another passion of mine. But tell the audience a little bit about the process of how you get honey from bees.
Okay, well, this has been in my family. I think it's probably maybe genetic or something because everybody in my family's always kept bees. My grandfather and like your ancestors. And what the bees do is they work by the thousands of bees to bring in little drops of nectar, and they will bring it in and they will give it to another bee that will take it and put it in a cell.
That's a worker bee, right?
Yes, all worker bees are female. The queen's a female. All worker bees are female. There's a few big drone bees in there, though. Yes, they are the males, and they only are there in case a queen needs to mate. And then in the fall, the worker bees will kill every drone in the hive. But anyhow, so all these thousands of bees will collect nectar from around, bring it in, store it, and then you have bees in there that will fan the honey and condense the nectar down to honey that will last forever.
They work it in the hives, right?
Yes, they work it in the hive, and they put it in. There's some bees in there that make the wax, and it's tilted at a 23-degree angle so it won't pour out. Right. And so when they get the honey in there, and then it's cured honey, they will actually cap it with wax. And then what we beekeepers do, we go and we take out the frames, and then we take the caps off, and we put it in a machine that you spin either by a motor. I have a hand cranked one, and the centrifugal force will spin the honey out into a big stainless steel drum, and then you can jar the honey up.
Well, that's a real long process. It's something that you have to dedicate your time, and really as an entrepreneur, you have to really be on point with all of the process, right? Because you have to have a suit, you have to wear a suit, right?
Well, At my age, I wear a suit. Reverend Charles Webb didn't believe in suits, and so I would get stung quite often. But at my age, I still get stung every now and then, but I wear a suit just because I don't know. They say you can lose your immunity. And a friend of mine had been a beekeeper for 8 or 10 years, and he was stung the other day, and it almost got him. He barely made it back to the house and could barely call 911, and they came out and had to get him. So stings can be dangerous, and if you're allergic, you don't need to really be messing with honeybees because you will get stung even if you have on a suit. But hey, let me say this. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Abby. I've known you most all my life. I've known your people, friends with you and friends with your family, and so proud of you, and thanks for having me here on your show.
Well, I really think you're doing a great job with the honey. And where can they find your honey?
Believe it or not, I have sold I sell a few jars there in my office. I don't have any right now, but I will hopefully in a couple of months. But I've been selling my honey for 40 years to J. Moore Farms, and they have it down there on the bypass between here and Gainesville, and I've been selling it to the Eccles family. They've been so kind to buy my honey. Years and years and years ago when I was young, you couldn't hardly give it away. But now everybody in the world wants honey because they realize the great properties. This is one of the few things in the world that will never go bad. Pure honey will never go bad. I jarred up this honey right here 5 years ago, and it's as pure as it was the day I put it in the jar.
It's beautiful. And, I really enjoy honey in my coffee. Instead of sugar, this is a great alternative to sweeten anything, really, right? And you're going to be helping me make a strawberry tart. And we're going to make that tart. And I really appreciate you being on the show. And thank you so much. We both kind of have the same work ethic. Yes. And I appreciate the compliments. You have to work hard. You have to really have a passion. And you are an entrepreneur. And I'm so proud of you. And
let me say this. Hey, I'm proud to be from Habersham County. My family's been here for 221 years. We've all worked in the community. We've all had to make a living here all the way back. We've had stores, we've had shops, we've had hotels, restaurants, and we've had to work with the people, and I'm so proud to be from this area. I love the people. The people have been so good to us, Abby, and I know you and your family have been the same, and it's just a wonderful place to be and wonderful place to live.
I totally agree. And we'll be right back to make that tart.
Here at Ingles, we know that you're probably cooking from home a little more than usual these days, so we have assembled an amazing collection of easy-to-prepare recipes. Join us at the Ingles table at ingles-markets.com.
Welcome back to Field of Four, and what's in season is strawberries, and Bruce and I are going to make a strawberry tart using the sourwood honey. The first thing you want to do, I like to use this European Wawaka puff pastry. It's very flaky. It's a better. It really does well for this tart. So what we're going to do is score it and go about 1 inch in on your puff pastry. And this is an easy recipe, Bruce. You can even make this for your family.
I'll try.
And we want to do that, and we want to bring the edges in like so. It's very easy. And the two types of honey here, you brought two types of honey.
Yes, the darker one is springtime honey, and anybody that knows anything about honey knows that springtime honey can go from this is really pretty springtime honey, to, I'll hold it up in the light a little bit better, to almost black. And so it just depends on what the bees are getting in the springtime. This is really actually a very pretty springtime honey, but as most people know, springtime honey can be dark to black, and the health benefits of honey is just so amazing. It goes back thousands and thousands of years, all the way back to Greece and Rome and even ancient Egypt and ancient England.
Wow. Well, we're going to use the sourwood though, and I just wanted to make the distinction between the two colors.
Yes.
And the next step, you want to prick your puff pastry. This allows air to flow up through the ingredients, so your strawberries won't fall off the pastry. Because you're talking about just layers of butter and flour here. with a puff pastry. And if you had to make this puff pastry at home, it would take you hours and hours to get this quality of a puff pastry. So the next step, what we're gonna do is, I've got 3 tablespoons of the sourwood honey. I've got 2 tablespoons of the balsamic vinegar. You wouldn't believe how well this goes on the flavors. The flavors are just tremendous with this, and you just gotta whisk this. I should have you doing this, right?
Do you want me to help you?
No, that's hey, you're helping me just more. I get support. You're helping me just by being here. See,
While
now,
Abby's whisking this, let me say that Abby and I and her family, we've been friends for so many years, and wonderful to know how well Abby's doing, and it's just great that she's doing this farm to table, and I'm very proud of her and glad to be here.
Okay, we got that. Okay, then we want to put the strawberries, and these strawberries I got at Ingles, and I think this is a red blossom. I want to tell you folks, these strawberries are beautiful.
Yes.
The season this year was amazing. I couldn't believe it. You don't really have to add sugar to this. It's all natural. You get the sugar out of the strawberries and the honey. So I've already sliced these up. We want to just put them on the tart like so. Cover the tart. This is about a pound, 16 ounces. And you just want to cover it. Let me get down here and get this all covered. And this makes a beautiful dessert. It's really nice. And what you want to do is put some whipped cream on the dessert after we bake it. We'll bake it in the oven for 25 minutes on 375, or until the outside becomes brown. So what we're going to do after we get this looking right, Bruce, it's got to look right.
Looking good to me.
It's got to look right. We got to get this all spread out pretty even. I think that's about it. And then the last step, see, this is so easy. Even you can do this, like I said.
I'm not a cook.
Well, Amy's going to make you make this.
I know my wife Amy, she'll be making me do this for her.
Right. So, all right. There you have it. It's all even. And then we want to take the balsamic vinegar and the honey and just brush over it like so. See?
Oh, yes. It's almost like a caramel.
Yeah, it's very,
Yes.
loads of flavor here.
Ooh, it smells good.
And as I said, these strawberries are just tremendous this year. It's the first season where they've really put on so big and so fun.
Yeah,
I think J. Moore Farms has them too. And but I got these at Ingles, and you might have just a little bit of this left over. So I think we've covered it. And what we're going to do, as I said, we're going to put it in the oven for 25 minutes at 375, and we'll be right back.
From all of us at Ingles, we just want to say thanks so much for your support. Because when you support us, you're supporting hundreds of local farms and businesses in the states we call home. You see, that's where we source as much of our food as possible. From our local dairies to grass-fed beef to organic produce to bakeries just around the corner. We really are one team and one community. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
Shop securely. Work effectively. Learn at lightning speed. Kinetic by Windstream has made major investments in our network in your community, so you can be completely connected at home. Connect to great offers for business or home at windstream.com.
Here at Ingles, we know that you're probably cooking from home a little more than usual these days, so we have assembled an amazing collection of easy-to-prepare recipes. Join us at the Ingles table at ingles-markets.com.
Welcome back to Field of Fork, and Bruce, this is the strawberry tart, and let's have a bite of it. Let's see how this tastes.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Hey, glad to be here with the Rachel Ray of Habersham County, Abby Sutton Jackson. Thank you so much.
And thank you for being on the show, and we'll be right back.
Shop securely. Work effectively. Learn at lightning speed. Kinetic by Windstream has made major investments in our network in your community, so you can be completely connected at home. Connect to great offers for business or home at windstream.com.
At Ingalls, we know the ever-present struggle of what am I going to make for dinner this week? That's why we started the Ingalls Table. It's a website that brings the best chefs and food experts right into your kitchen. You can sort through hundreds of recipes for every occasion, watch how-to videos, and print shopping lists to take to the store. It's all waiting for you at inglestable.com.
Until next time, I'll see you online.
Ingalls. Low prices, love the savings.
Welcome back to Field to Fork, and we all hope you are doing well during this time of uncertainty. And we have the new spring edition of the Ingalls Table available for you at your local Ingalls Market. You can find it in the deli. And this season, we have Vidalia onions in season. And there's a recipe here by Deborah Adams. It's her French onion and leek tart. This tart is amazing. And her daughter here, which is Jasmine Queen, she did her herb cup appetizers, and these are very delicious recipes, and we all really can find a lot of good cooking tips. And just make sure you go by the Ingalls at your local deli and pick this free copy up. And today we have a special segment from the Ingalls Table. Our guest is going to be Derek St. Germain with his grilled ribeye and mushroom marsala sauce. And it's time to grill. It's time to get outside. Hope you're enjoying your spring, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Chef Derek St. Germain, and I'm going to share a fantastic new recipe with you today. I came up working my way through some of the finest restaurants in New Orleans. And these days, I balance my love of cooking with my love of hunting and a passion for bringing my own flavor to the kitchen. Now, thanks to Ingalls, I'm gonna be cooking with you. Today, we're making a blackened ribeye with grilled mushroom marsala sauce. For a full list of all the ingredients, check out the shopping list underneath the video player. You can print a list and take it with you, or pull it up on your phone when you're at the store. Now let's get cooking. Today we're grilling these great looking ribeyes with mushroom marsala sauce. I absolutely love this recipe. Look at these beautiful giant ribeyes, hand cut right from the butcher at Ingalls. Very simple recipe, and all we basically have to do is cover them with 2 tablespoons of K. Paul's Blackened Steak Magic. This stuff is incredible. It's got lavender in there. It's a Cajun seasoning, got a lot of pop. We're gonna rub it on just like this, coat it. We're gonna do both sides, flip them over. Rub it in. You can go ahead and dab it on your cutting board, get it all the way around the side. Simple as that. And now we're ready to take them to the grill. All right, so the grill's nice, hot, and ready. Got it all cleaned up. We're ready to start cooking. Medium-high heat. We're gonna leave it 4 to 5 minutes per side. Flip it only one time, and that's gonna bring it to a nice medium-high heat. Look how I set the steaks on there, so later I can get perfect grill marks. Steaks are ready to go. Now I need to start making that sauce. All right, so the steaks are on the grill, almost ready to go. It's time to start making the sauce. Couple of easy ingredients. Saute pan's ready, so let's start cooking it. We're making a marsala wine sauce, so we're gonna start with a couple tablespoons of butter. Let that melt. Then we're gonna throw in our garlic and about 2 cups of portobello mushrooms. You can get all this already prepared right at Ingalls, already sliced and ready to go. Be sure when you got your mushrooms in and the butter and garlic's melting, go ahead and swirl it around, toss it. Okay, let's add our thyme. We're gonna let that cook for about 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, so now we're ready to add our wine and our heavy cream. Give it another mix real quick. Add a little heavy cream. sauce is ready. We're ready to plate up. All right, so the steaks are ready. I'm gonna go ahead and put this sauce here right over the top. We're gonna throw a couple of garnishes on there, and then we're gonna be ready to eat. Look how beautiful this is, and oh my gosh, I wish you could smell this. It's just incredible. Throw a couple of mushrooms around the side to make it pretty. Some more thyme on top. All right, so we're all out of time for today. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Ingles Table. Remember, you can find this recipe, videos, photos, and more on the website at inglestable.com. Until next time, I'll see you online.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's program. We look forward to having you back next time on Field to Fork Cooking with Abby J. This program is brought to you in part by Ingles Supermarkets and the Ingles Table and is a video production of Kinetic TV.